श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 3, verse number 43. So here King Nimi asks question about Karma Yoga, because he has heard earlier how by doing devotion to Bhagavan one can become free from the impurities of the heart and realize the absolute truth, Atma Tattva, which can be Brahman or Bhagavan. So now he raised the question that please explain to me about Karma Yoga also, how by Karma Yoga one can become free from the gunas of material nature and attain the state of Neskarma. And then he also said that he had asked this question earlier to Kumaras but they did not answer it. And he is interested what is the reason that they did not answer. So Avirhotra, he replies, Avirhotra, as the very word signifies, means one who does yajna. Hota, Hotri is one of the priests. Udgata, Hota, Brahma. So, since talk about Karma Yoga, so he speaks. So in verse 43 he said, Karma karma vikarmeti vedavadona laukika vedasya cha ishwaratmatvat tatra muhyanti suraya. So he says that what is karma means prescribed activities, prescribed duties. What is akarma? Not doing what is prescribed, and what is vikarma? To do prohibited actions. Or karma is prescribed, akarma is to become free from karma, doing them without desire. Vikarma is opposite of that. So he says all this is known only from the Vedas, therefore it is called Vedavada. So Vedavada means that which is understood from the Veda. And it is not some laukika thing that you can make it up. The reason is that you can perform the action, but the result is not in your hand. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So you can do activity and you can say I am independent and I will achieve the result by my action. You can say that, but after death you have no control. Where you will be born, what will happen to you. So then result will come. So therefore what result comes from which action, especially the activities which are prescribed in the Vedas like doing Agnihotra, Sandhya Vandan, or some other istis, Purta, charities. So what is the outcome of that? We don't see any result directly. That's why they are called adrishta, because the drishta result we don't see. So what will be the result? That only Veda can explain that. So therefore he says it is not laukika. And Vedasya cha ishwaratmatvat. And Veda is that which is known to Ishvara. So Ishwaratmatva means that it is Ishvara only who knows it. And therefore the great personalities also get confused about it. Because there is a lot of debate, especially if you study Purvamimamsa. The very subject, the name of that system is called Purvamimamsa because Mimamsa means Pujya Vichar. To have deliberation, what actually does it mean or how it has to be performed. So there is a lot of discussion. The biggest darshan from sutra point of view is the Purvamimamsa. If you combine all other 5 together, Purvamimamsa is bigger than all of them. There are more than 3,000 sutras. Others have 500 sutras, 200 yoga. So it's a huge system. And there is a lot of discussion. Because there are statements in the Vedas which seem to be contradictory or which doesn't make sense. So what does it mean? So therefore he says, Yat tatra muhyanti suraya. And this was the reason that the sages, the sons of Brahma Kumaras, did not reply to King Nimi when he asked about it. Because he was a young boy. He would not be able to understand it. Sometimes people can ask questions, but it may be beyond their capacity to understand the reply. So therefore they did not answer him. So commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti. So he says, Karma khalu shastra vihita charanam. So he is defining what karma vikarma is. So karma, he says, is shastra vihita acharanam. that acharan or action which is performed as indicated in the Shastra. So vihita means prescribed. So Shastra Vihita Acharana means to act according to the injunction of the Shastra. So that is called karma. And then akarma, he says Shastra Vihita Anacharanam. Akarma means to not act as prescribed in the Shastra. And then vikarma tu Shastra Nishiddhacharana. So to act as per the injunction of Shastra, then to not act what is said, and then to do something which is not supposed to be done, which is prohibited. So these are the karma, akarma and vikarma. And there are also injunctions, some actions prescribed for one particular type of adhikari and they are forbidden for another one. So that also has to be understood, that prescriptions are not, everything is not for everybody, or certain things are not applicable in a certain situation under certain condition. So there is sauchachar or sauchachar. So there are a lot of restrictions like that. So they also have to be understood. Otherwise we just say, oh, it is said in the Vedas, but for whom is it said? That also has to be known. So therefore he says, Ishwar Atmatvat. That it is the Atma of the Ishwar. Atma also means body, or it is his instruction. Shabda Brahma Param Brahma Mama Ubhe Shashvati Tanu iti Bhagavadukter Aparushe Vakyatatyartha. So Bhagavan himself says that Shabda Brahma means the Vedic word and Parabrahma, both are my eternal bodies. So therefore Shabda is also his body, means it is Aparushaya, it is not made by somebody. So this is something which we Indians or traditional Indians believe, although now the modern understanding is different. So they say there was a Vedic period and then Puranic period, then Sutra period, like that. And then Vedas, first Rig Veda came and Brahman, Upanishad. So they have their timeline. But the traditional understanding, if you read even books 2000 years old, so they all accept that Vedas are Aparushaya. It's not that they are written at a certain time. Especially in Purvamimamsa, there is a lot of discussion on this point. So Bhagavadukter Aparushaya Vakyatvat. In fact, Purvamimamsa goes up to the extent of saying that Veda is not even created by Bhagavan. They are very, he says, it is eternal like Ishvara. And if it is eternal, then it cannot be a creation of even him. So this is very strong belief. When they say Aparushaya, we Vaishnavas, we say Aparushaya means it is not created by human being, but it is created by God. They say that it is not created by anybody. That's why it is Aparushaya. That's the meaning they take. And the reason why they take that meaning is that because it is not Parushaya, therefore it does not have any Purusha defects. Anything which is created by human being or any other person, it will have defect in it. But since it is not created, then there is no question. Because only when you create, defect will come in it. So therefore, Brahm, Pramad, Vipralipsa, Karna, part of those 4 types of defects which exist in human beings, they do not exist in the Vedas because they are not the creation of any living person. So that is the meaning of aparushaya for them. Tatra muhyanti पुंवाक्य ही वक्तुर अभिप्राय तो अर्थ ज्ञानम सुशकम अपरुषय ही केवल वाक्य पौर्य पर्येणैव तात्पर्य अवधारणम तच्च दुष्करम इति. So Shloka says that tatra muhyanti suraya. That suri means those who are learned people. So they are bewildered or become confused about the essence of the Vedas. So therefore Mimamsakas like Jaimini and his followers, they say that the purpose of the Vedas is only in Kriya. So Kriyarthatvat. That is their strong belief that the Veda speaks about dharma, not about moksha or anything like that or bhakti. So their understanding is that the conclusion or the meaning of the Vedas is only in dharma. Therefore Athato Dharma Jigyasa is their first sutra. And dharma is known from the Vedas. And what is dharma? Dharma is an injunction. Chodana lakshano artha dharma. So therefore kriyatmaka. So they say that the meaning of the Vedas is only in kriya, in action, which is injunction. And therefore they say that the Vedas have 5 types of statements: vidhi, nishedh, namdheya, arthavad, and mantra. Out of these 5 types of statements, it is only the vidhi which is the primary, because that is the only which is telling you what to do. And all other 4 types, they are secondary to the vidhi only. And then they have various types of vidhi: apurva vidhi, niyam vidhi, adhikar vidhi. So much talk on vidhi. And different ways of interpreting Shabdi Bhavana, Arthi Bhavana. So much talk. So why is this? So he says the problem is that when one person speaks to another person, so you understand the intention of the person by his or her words, right? The smallest unit of knowledge is a sentence. So you hear sentence and from that you understand meaning. And understanding meaning of a human being's words itself is difficult. That's why many times there are misunderstanding. Because people say one thing, they mean something else. There are so much, if you read Sahitya, various types of alankaras are there. So there is also Virodha Alankar. The meaning is just the opposite of what you say. So you say, oh, you are very wonderful, you are doing great service to me. Which actually means that you are a nonsense and you are only causing trouble to me. So how do we know this meaning? So from the context, from the person, his personality, behavior, situation, then word has got primary meaning, secondary meaning, then there is suggested meaning, right? So mukhya artha, lakshana artha, vyanjana artha, so many ways. And then mukhya artha are also of different types: rudhi, yogic, yoga rudhi. So all these things are already make it complicated. And to understand the meaning when the person, the speaker is not there. At least when somebody is speaking, we understand the intention, tatparya, that what is he intending, because we know something about the person. But if there is no person behind the statement, then it becomes very difficult because you don't know what is the character of this person, what does he want. Especially if some person is speaking, then we know that person are impelled by their desires. Everybody has got some desire, right? Yadi yat karoti jantu tat tat kamasya chestitam. But then there is somebody who is free from that. He is not there. There is no speaker. Whether you accept there is a God or you accept that there is no God, in either way the person is not like us, or there is no person. So therefore he says that tatparya avdharanam tacha duskaram. To understand the tatparya, the intention, keval vakya paurya paryanaiva. The only way we try to understand is what the statement came earlier, what the statement came later, and try to make ekvakyata, synthesis of the meaning. So that's not an easy job. So various techniques, whole hermeneutics has been created just for this purpose, to understand what is the meaning. So for that he says muhiyanti yat surya, tatra muhiyanti. So pum vakya hi vaktur abhiprayato arth jnanam sushakam. It is easier to understand the abhipraya, the purpose, intention of the speaker from his statements. But aparushaya hi keval vakya paurya paryanaiva tatparya udharanam. But if it is not spoken by a person, it is very difficult. Tatra karmadau vidvamso api muhiyanti kuimutanni. So therefore even the learned scholars, they become confused what to speak of others who are not learned. So even among the Mimamsakas, there are lot of arguments. If you ever seen, now I don't know, but in olden times when there used to be marriage, so now marriages happen quickly, but previously it was a slow process. So marriage party came to the girl's village, and when the marriage ceremony has to be performed, so marriage party also brought their brahmana with them. And from the girl side there is going to be their family priest. And there was always a clash between these two sides. So one was that everybody has their way of doing things. Smriti is not just one smriti. There are so many smritis, and then there are lokacharas and in different place things. That is one thing. And second thing is the ego, which is more important. So the bridegroom brahmana feels I am superior because I am from the bridegroom side. And the bride side thinks, who are you? We are from the girl side. So their egos will clash. They will always argue, no, it should be done like this. And he says, no, it has to be done like that. So this is what he says, muhiyanti yat surya. So therefore, atatav balatva tada te na bruvan. So he had asked the question that why did the Kumaras did not answer my question? So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says, because you are just a little boy asking complicated question, so you are not fit to understand it. So now you can hear. So then he gives the basic principle. If this is understood, then you will have some flow to know what the Veda is saying. So this is the Tatparya, or this is, you can say, is the sutra he is giving. Parokshvado vedoyam balanam anushasana karma mokshaya karmani vidhatte hi agadam yatha. So he says that Veda is parokshvada. Parokshvada means that it does not say thing directly. So when you have to achieve certain intention, and you know that if you tell this to the other person, then the other person will not do it. So then you don't tell your intention, but you still want him to do it. So then you speak to the person in such a way that it appears attractive to that person. What they call as win-win situation. That I want to achieve something and you want something. So I tell you to do it, that you get what you want and I get what I want. So this is what Parokshavada is. That Veda wants you to become free from karma, not remain entangled in the sakam karma. But people want material result. They are attached to their body and they are attached to material results. That Vittaishna, Lokeshna, Putraishna, they have their material desires. As Krishna says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam. So, artho jigyasu artharthi. People are distressed. They have some problem, family problem, relational problem, money problem, society problem, some legal problem. So they want to solve their problem. And God wants that you should make use of this human birth and get free from the material world. So people don't want that. And God doesn't want this. So how to bring these two things together? So then he uses Parokshavada. So he says, oh, you want this? I tell you how you will get it. So you do this yajna. So this is Purushottam month now. So do parikrama every day, Vrindavan. And then go to Bihariji. And then you will go to heaven, or you will attain this, or whatever is your desire, it will be fulfilled. Or do japa here, 1 round here is equal to 100 rounds outside. So something like that. So then you happily do it. Otherwise you will not do it. In this heat, who wants to do parikrama? But because this is Purushottam month, and there is a special benefit, bonus, so then you do it. So God made you do which you would not do otherwise by giving you some lollipop. So this is a Parokshavada. So we do it all the time because the thing is that human beings, they don't want to be disciplined. They are like children. Children don't like discipline. They want to play. So then parents have to discipline them that you do your homework first, then you can watch TV. Right? And if you come first in the class, then we'll buy this for you. So this is Parokshavada. You actually want him to study, you don't have interest in giving him anything, gift, etc. And he is interested in that gift. So he does that. So this is what it says, Parokshavado Vedo Ayam. That this Veda is Parokshavada. It hides its intention. So Krishna also says that Parokshavada Rishya Paroksham Mamcha Priyam. Not only Veda, but the sages are also like that. All intelligent people are like that. So why is it Parokshavada? He says Balanam Anushasnam. That it wants to discipline the children. Children means people. Humanity. It wants to discipline humanity. So humanity likes to eat unrestrictedly, enjoy unrestrictedly, and exploit The strong will exploit the weak, and they will have the greed to store as much as possible. So how to make them do opposite of that? So then say, oh, charity, if you do charity, you will get 10 times, 100 times in the heaven. And if you trouble others, then this will happen. You will suffer so many million years. You will be thrown in the pot, boiling oil, and you will be made pakoda. So all this, so this is carrot and stick. So if you do it, you get the carrot. If you don't do it, you get the stick. So animals are also treated like that. Human beings are also animal. Right? So therefore they say that Janmana Jayate Sudra. Sometimes they say Sudra, sometimes they say something else. The meaning is that by birth we are like animal. And then by discipline you become human being. So that discipline is given by Veda. So in the olden days people had faith in Shastra, so they listened. Now people don't have faith in Vedas because so much has been spoken and so much science has come up. So which says that no, it's all came from one amoeba. There is no God. God did not create it. There was some big bang. And they have a lot of proof to prove their theory. They made a very systematic presentation. It's like previously they had a very systematic presentation of the Veda. If you study actually Veda, you will also start believing it. Because very systematically they make their case. But now people do not study Shastra and we study science. So which goes against it. So you don't study and then you study something which is against it, then naturally there is no possibility of having faith in this. So now nobody is bothered about karma, next life. Even people who think that there is next life, they really don't believe in it. Most people, they know that there is karma, but they really don't believe in it. Because if you actually have faith in karma, you won't do something wrong because you know that you are going to suffer from it. So that means it's just lip service. When I have to give a lecture, I talk. When I have to act, then it's fine. It's like one teacher was saying that he has trained hundreds of Buddhist people. He is a great Buddhist scholar. And then I asked that you also follow it. He said, no, I don't follow. I'm just a teacher. So means he has no belief in what he is teaching. He only trains others. Yeah. So what is the value of his training also? So like that, people in India, Indians are all philosophers. But greatest corruption is also here. So why is it? So they say that there is darkness under the lamp. So this belief is not there, just a talk. So he says that it is actually very important, the Veda, to understand it, because this is, now you see there is so much indiscipline in the society. And there is insecurity everywhere, there is a fear. Now so much cyber crime is going on. It's amazing. It's because people have no fear of cheating others. So that means there is no Anushasana. This is what Anushasana means. So one is that you can put discipline from outside. You have police and you have army and you have court and prison and all that. But that's a lengthy process. But Veda, if we have faith, then this discipline is from inside. Then I know that if I cheat, I will be punished. Now or later or somewhere, karma will not leave you. But now people have lost faith. So you need so much law. And then the cheaters, the deceivers, they are always inventing newer. With AI you can do so many things. So how you cannot keep track? I was just listening to some person, he was explaining how the cyber crime is performed. So much variety. He says if they have your phone, they can take away your money. They don't need OTP or anything like that. And then how they can steal data, this, that. It's amazing. And these are the people who are they are not some PhDs or anything. They're just normal people. They learn. So why it is happening? One very interesting story. I just tell you this because this shows why Veda is necessary. He says that one man came and he said that there is a big problem in our family. All our phones are hacked. In the family there are 8 to 10 people and everybody has got a phone and their phones are hacked. And he says, what is happening? He says, I suddenly get a message from the phone of my wife. Like he was saying, I was walking on the roof at night and then I get a message from my wife's phone. It says, you Kumbhakaran, go to sleep. Why are you walking here? And then it says, why my wife is writing like this? I go, my wife is sleeping and the phone is lying there. And then his father, who is an old man, he says, you chastise that neighbor girl, go and ask forgiveness to her. He says, how the hell this guy know? And this message is coming from another phone of their family. And the father was confused, but because there is nothing there. And then he did it, and then he says, oh, good that you did it. So they got surprised. Somebody is watching them, what is going on, So he went with this complaint and the guy, even the cyber crime expert, was puzzled. How is this happening? Many things were happening like this in the house, as if there is a ghost who knows what is going on and he sends a message and it comes on your phone, in the WhatsApp. So he said, okay, bring all the phones. They brought all the phones and then he went through their message and then he says, is there some young kid in your neighborhood? He says, no. He says, this is the job of some young fellow. He said, but there is no young kid in my neighborhood. And he of course asked him so many questions and he understood that it is somebody who is nearby who is doing it. And he says, no. So anyway, he investigated and he went through their apps and this and that, and he found that there was one app which was in all of them. Forget the name of the app. And that app can duplicate WhatsApp. Means you have your WhatsApp and you can have another WhatsApp on it. And the kid in their family who was 9-year-old boy, he has done it. And he installed it on the phones of all the family members, and then he's sending messages and it comes as if it is coming from the mother's phone, it is coming, but there's nothing there. So now you see this boy, he's doing it because he's not disciplined, he's not worried, he's not bothered that why I'm doing it. So therefore he says, Parokshvado Vedoyam Balanam Anushasnam. Because if we have the fear inside that if I do something wrong, if I do vikarma, then I will go to hell. Then I will not do it. So I will get disciplined. But how much discipline you can force from outside? So that's why so many rapes and so many crimes, previously they did not happen. Because people were restrained, Now nobody has this fear that I will go to hell. He says, where is the hell? Even those who believe, they say that there is hell, they really don't believe in it. They are so much influenced. So therefore Veda engaged people in doing karma. That from the childhood you learn, you recite the mantras, this, do Sandhya Vandan. You don't have time for doing nonsense. and you live a disciplined life. You avoid, you have good character, moral principles naturally. You do charity, you help others, non-violence. So these things naturally are taught by the Vedas, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chare, Mahinsyat Sarva Bhutani, basic principles. And by doing this, he says, you will become free from karma. So he says, karma mokshaya karmani vidhatte hi agdam yatha. That the Veda is asking you to engage in karma so that you will become free from karma. So this is the principle of what you have in this medical system. In German, if it came from German, homeopathy, that you give the small dose of what causes the disease. This is also there in Bhāgavatam. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayata yena suvrata. So, tadevhi amayam dravyam nepunati chikitsitam. Narada is telling this to Vyasa, that very thing which causes disease can also cure you. And there he is talking about karma only, that karma is the one which binds you, but karma can also liberate you if it is done according to the Shastra. So therefore he says that karma mokshaya karmani vidhatte, that the purpose of Veda is to engage you in karma, is not that you go to heaven and then you come down. No. This purpose is that you become free from karma. And then he is giving you, so what about all these instructions that you go to heaven, you enjoy all that? So he says this is like a father who wants to give medicine to the child. So medicine is bitter and the child does not like bitter medicine. Child likes sweets. So father says that you take medicine, then I will give you chocolate. So he takes the bitter medicine. So father's intention is not to give him chocolate, and the child's intention is not to eat the bitter medicine. But he gives him what he is not intended to give him, and he also takes what he doesn't feel like doing. So this is how the Veda is also functioning. It gives you, or it speaks about going to heaven, doing this, doing that, but its intention is to make you free from the material conditioning. So Durgayam Ved Tatparyam Ityaha Parokshavad. So how the Tatparya, the intention of the Veda, is difficult to understand. So this is being described here in this sloka, Parokshvadeti. Yatra anyatha sthitor artho bhagavad abhiprayagya rishibhi sangopetum anyatha kritva uchyate sa parokshvada. So he says where the artha is something else, the meaning is something else. And then the sages who understand the intention of Bhagavan, so they hide that and then they speak in different way. So therefore you hear that Namabhas, you do this, this will happen. If you stay one day in Vrindavan, you get Prema Bhakti. If you take a dip in Radha Kund, then you get Manjari Bhav. Right? So all these things are spoken. So sages speak all that. So this is Parokshavad. The intention is not that they want you to do this. Their intention is that you engage in bhakti. So Yaduktam Bhagavata, as Bhagavan said, Parokshvada Rishya, Paroksham cha Mama Priya. So he says that the sages, they speak indirectly, Parokshvada. And Paroksham cha Mama Priya. Paroksha is also dear to me. Iti parokshvadatvam eva aha karma mokshaya. So now he explains what is parokshvada. So parokshvada is that their intention is that they want you to become free from conditioning of the karma. So nanu swargadi artham karmani vidhatte na karma mokshartham tatra. He says, but we say that statements are there, swarg kamo yajet, that if you want to go to swarga, then you do this yagya, right? So many yajeta, you do som yaga. So how you say that they are making you free from karma? You are only going to swarga, and then from swarga you will come down, as Krishna says in Gita. So he says, yeah, that is true, but that is not their true intention. So yatha agadam austham balanam anushashanam agyapanam yene tat tathahi. So he said, just like to discipline the children, so it is given like a medicine. Tathahi yadetat ausadham pibasi tadate khandaladdukam dasyami iti pralobhya pita balan nimbrasam payati. So he said, just like the father is telling to his children that if you drink this neem juice, then I will give you chocolate. So neem juice is very bitter. If you have ever drank it or eaten neem leaves, so they are very, very bitter. Especially children don't like bitter things, they want sweet. But he entices them that you drink this, then you get chocolate. So the children drink it and he gives them chocolate. So his intention is to drink this so that they will remain healthy, immune. It increases your immunity, especially in the summer. So he says, laddukam cha tebhyo dadati anyatha punas tat payana ashakte. So he also gives them laddu. So in the same way you do yagya, you also go to swarga. It is not that that telling lies. The Veda is not telling you lies. It's not that swarga is not available, but the intention is not to give you swarga. But you will get disciplined. To reach swarga, you have to live a very disciplined life. So one thing is that when you are living here, you are not causing disturbance to others. And then gradually you will develop more faith in Vedas that, oh, by doing this you actually get this result. And then you will study more. Then there are other statements which say te karmajito loke yathai shiyate tadvatat amutrapi. Just like the results, they come to an end here, which you attain by karma, then there also. So then you speak about spirituality, moksha, then you develop interest in that. So that is the technique. So kintu agad panasya na tallabha eva prayojanam apitu arogyam. So the goal of making him drink medicine is not that he will get sweet to eat or chocolate to eat, but to make him free from the sickness, to cure his disease. The father's interest is not in giving him chocolate, but to make him healthy. But to do that, he has to give him chocolate also. So similarly, some prayojana is mentioned. Evam vedopi phalahi pralobhyan karma mokshaya karmani vidhatte. So he says, in the same way, the Veda also entices you by the results, as he will speak rochna artha phalashruti, that to increase your interest, the results are pronounced or described, various types. There is so much description of various types of results by doing so many religious activities. If you do this fast, then you will get this. If you do this parikrama, you will get this. There is always, if you do tulsi puja, if you give water to tulsi, if you give one laddu to cow, right? So if you do parikrama, so there is always description of some phala, some result, what you can get. But those are only to attract you to that. That is not their main purpose. The mukhya phal tu priti. The real purpose, they want you to do it so that you can attain the priti of Bhagavan. Kintu mukhya phalam rati. Rupa Goswami says that all these Kshudra phala which are described, that is not their real purpose. The real purpose is that you attain Bhav Bhakti. That is the primary purpose of all these activities, whether it is parikrama or charity or this or that, or study or reciting stotras. But people will not do it if you say, oh, by doing this you will get Bhav Bhakti. That is not very appealing to people. Says, what will I gain? Then I do more bhakti. I want something here. So then they give some material benefit.
Here he is saying that laddukam cha tebhyo dadati anyatha punastat payan ashakte. And you explained this, that when they say swarga kamo yajet, to actually they give swarga also to the person who is actually doing the yajna. So in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, you had explained that in many stuti phal there is no attainment of the phala which is stated by the stuti, कि आपको ये मिलेगा अगर आप if you do this, if you अगर आप इसका पाठ करते हो तो. And there you had explained that the main purpose, as you just said a few minutes earlier, is to engage the person in acts of spirituality. So both the types come under parokshvad, जिसमें फल मिलता है और नहीं भी मिलता.
Parokshvad ही है.
दोनों
parokshvad. But if you only want that, then you will get that also. Otherwise, then you will lose faith in these words.
Only want that means the जो actually में फल बता रहे हैं, material. Okay.
So next verse, it says, Nacharedyastu vedoktam swamagyo jitendriyaha vikarmana hiya dharmena mrityum upayati sa. So what happened if you don't follow? So one is that you do it, you will get good result. Then you say, okay, I am not interested in that. So he says, if you don't do it, then there is also punishment. So better do it. So therefore he says, Nachared yastu vedoktam swayam agyo jitendriya. He says, if an ignorant person who doesn't have control over his senses, he does not follow what is prescribed in the Vedas, then he is going to do something. It's not that he doesn't do this and he doesn't do anything and also. So, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit. You don't remain without doing anything, so you will do something. So then you will, if you don't do karma, you will do vikarma. You will act in some forbidden manner. So then you will engage in adharma. And then because of adharma, you have to again take birth, mrityu or mrityum upayati. So then you will go to hell. Hell means suffering, you will suffer. Because the outcome of adharma is suffering, just as outcome of dharma is happiness. So that is the result. Nanu katham mokshas purusharthas tarhi prathamameva karma tyajyatam atah nacharediti. So he says that if the goal is moksha, if that is the purushartha, then why not give up the karma from the very beginning? So then he is replying this. He says, Yadi vedoktam pratah snan sandhya vandanadikam karma nacharet tada nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit iti bhagavadukter daihik vyaparam vina sthatum ashakyatvat ajitendriya iti indriya jaya bhavat pashuriva प्रातः आरभ्य अनियत भोजन स्त्री संगादि विविध पाप निरत एव स्यात् यत अज्ञः विवेक शून्य. So because everybody has to do something, we have body, we have senses, we have mind, so they cannot remain inactive. You have to do something. Even if you have everything, all your desires are fulfilled, then you will go out and do something you will do. So then if you do not do what is prescribed in the Veda, then you will do something which is not prescribed. Because you have no control over self. So therefore he says that Veda is saying you should wake up in the morning, do Sandhya Vandan, Puja, chanting of the mantras, stotras, prayers, right? Do yajna, deity worship. So if you are not following Veda, then what will you do? You will not wake up early, you will wake up late, then have bad tea, then watch TV, then do this, then do that, then quickly get ready, go to office. So he says you will have no control. So dahik vyaparam vina. So instead of following even your bodily activities properly, you will not do it. So because you are ajitendriya, you have no control over senses, you will act like an animal. So if you are not trained, then you will not even have the proper lifestyle that in the morning you go to toilet. Then you go wherever, whenever, like animals. And that will have bad effect on your health. So therefore he says Pashuriva, because we are not human, we are not animals. So he says beginning from morning, then you will have no control over your eating. That's what you see these days. People are eating at wrong times, wrong food, more than what is needed. Uncontrolled. This is a very big problem now, uncontrolled eating. And eating food which is coming from outside, you don't know anything, what is mixed in it. People, now you can order food, night time, 12 o'clock, delivered. So therefore he says, Aniyat bhojan, stri sangha, then engaging in physical relations. So in this way, various types of forbidden acts you will do. So this will have an effect on your body, on your mind, and then you will influence others by that. You will become irritated, you will have greed, you will be lazy, you don't want to do work. Then you have to do some crime to get money. So people are becoming so expert now. One of the reasons why cybercrime people are successful is because everybody wants to make quick money. I invest money here, then I'll get. But people don't think that from where this guy is going to give you money. This is the question. You invest money somewhere and he is giving you so much money every day. So from where will he give? Unless he makes more than that. Unless I make money. But there is a limit. How much can he make? So this nobody thinks. And then they spread a whole net. There will be few people, they will talk to you. Yeah, I also got so much money. Look. So the trick. One young fellow, he made 3,700 crore rupees by this trick. And another 17-year-old guy made 100 crore. Then he made a mistake. He gave an ad in the newspaper. So he got caught. So people are making so much money, and obviously people who get hooked onto them because of the greed, then they lose it. So he says this is papa nirata eva syat, that various types of sinful activity. Sinful means which is going to cause you trouble sooner or later. Yato agyaha vivek sunya. Why do they do it? Because they are ignorant. They don't have viveka. They don't have discernment. ततश्च विकर्मणा निषिद्धाचरण लक्षणेन अधर्मेण मृत्योर यस्मात् सकाशात् मृत्यु नरकमेव प्राप्नोति. And then because of this vikarma, this forbidden act, which is adharma, then they will attain hell. Tathacha shruti mritva punar mrityum apadyate ardemana swakarma bhir. He says, this is the shruti statement, that after death he attains another death, being suppressed or controlled by his own karma. So while his wrong acts, then he has to suffer. So we'll stop here. Purushottam Prabhu.
I just had a brief question about this Khanda Laddu. What is it really called in Hindi or English?
Khanda Laddu means Khand ka Laddu.
Khanda Laddu.
Khand, you know what is Khand?
Yes, I know. It is, yeah, Khand. Sure.
So that is Khand Laddu. It was very popular in olden time. Khand Bura. Now people have forgotten after this. Chini came. Srishti.
Dandavat Pranam Babaji. You mentioned about karm, akarm and vikarm, Babaji, and you defined akarm in two ways. You said either we choose to not do anything, that can also be akarm, and another is when we are in a state of not
Yoga.
being attacked.
Yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam taktva dhananjaya. Siddhyo siddhyo samabhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So you can also do karma and not get the outcome of it. That is also called akarma.
Yes. So what came to my mind is often we say like this person, he's just sitting, he's not doing anything. And you also like you explained it in one way, you choose to not do something, that is also choice. So that can also be a karma. But I'm curious, even when we sit and we are not with quotes doing anything, or like not moving our legs or not saying anything, we do have thoughts. Unless we like label that thought or say it out loud, it is considered to be generally no karma. However, we have several sensations in our body. We have to breathe, and our heart is beating irrespective of our desire to see it beat or not. And similarly, several processes are happening in our body. So is all of that karma? I'm curious.
Yeah, from different angles it can be seen. First of all, your thought process is going on, you don't stop that. Unless you are a yogi. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, but there is something which even if you are not doing anything, your thoughts are going on. So manasik kriya is there. Besides the vital activities of beating hearts, blood circulating, food getting digested, all these things are happening. But those are not in our control anyway, but at least your thoughts are going on, so you are doing some manasik karma.
Okay, so it is said that if we do something externally, like you just outlined some of the many things that are there in the Vedas that can be done using our hands, legs and mouth, and they are outwardly expressed. So those can be yajna. But supposedly someone is so incapacitated, like they can't do much, but they are breathing still, they have a mind still, and maybe they don't have the resources, say, to do much. So can some of these internal processes be used for yajna? Like for instance, can breath be offered as yajna, or is that not Vedic?
No, this Krishna says, we already read this, I think it came in the 4th chapter, that you offer prana into apana. There is talking about the various types of yajnas. So that's also there. Pranayam is there.
Okay. So it doesn't really have to be an overt expression of deed, that is karma, but anything that we think also. So even if I don't want to, say, physically cut someone's throat out of fear of punishment, if I think about it, that would be a karma.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a manasik karma. So manasik karma will give you result at the manasik level. Vachik gives you at the vachik level. Sharirik karma gives you result at the sharir, bodily level.
Okay. And secondly, another thing that came to my mind is it so much the lack of knowledge of Vedas as much as the um, indifference to the result? Or no, indifference makes it sound like we are all very cavalier, but is it the compulsion of the mind that renders one incapable of adhering to the norms?
No, the thing is that we do actions according to our faith and desires. So we have desire and we act on that. And then we act on the basis of our Shraddha. So when we don't have Shraddha in something, then we don't do it. And as we have been saying, that Shraddha comes by association, by study. So now there is no association of people like that who believe in Vedas or believe in karma. And we also don't study it. And as I said, we study something which is contrary to that, which is denying it, that there is no such thing. So therefore our belief system is different now.
I can't help but remember the class I attended where you were talking about Jainini Rishi, who, despite being a student of the Vedas and a Jnani, and this is not to insult him, surely it was a Leela beyond my understanding. However, despite knowledge of his sannyas dharma, he was compelled to harass would be the wrong word, but compelled to attack Ved Vyasji in his female swarup. So it's not it's not that he didn't have Shraddha. Seems like he did have Shraddha. Otherwise, he wouldn't dedicate his entire life to understanding the Vedas and
No,
whatever.
he was not having, it's not that he didn't have Shraddha. It was only that one particular thing that he said, how is this possible? It's Vyas says that Matra susra duhotro va na viviktasno bhavet balvan indriya gramo vidwan samay prakarshati. That one should not stay with one's sister or daughter or other woman in a lonely place, because the senses are very powerful. They can deviate even a learned person. So he says, how is this possible? How can senses be so powerful? That was his question to Vyasa. So Vyasa said, think about it. And then he demonstrated it to him.
So, if I take the moral from this thought, then it is possible that despite knowing, one can be driven by some compulsions which no knowledge can overpower.
Yeah, knowledge is one thing. As I said, knowledge is of two types. There is a paroksha jnana and there is a paroksha jnana. So one is that you have experiential knowledge, other is theoretical knowledge. So theoretical knowledge cannot counteract something which is experiential. To counteract experiential, you need experiential knowledge. You can counter theoretical understanding by theoretical understanding. So that's the thing. So experience of sense pleasure is direct. Means knowledge of sense pleasure is direct. It is not theoretical. But now we are saying something theoretical. So theoretical will not counter that. That's why Krishna says param drishtva nivartate. That when you have the experience, drishtva means experience. So that is when you become fixed. Chidyate hridaya granthi, vidyante sarva sansaya, kshiyante chasa karmani, drishtayatmani ishvare. So when you have experience, then you become free. So that's why this sadhana is performed to have an experience. Otherwise you just have scholarly knowledge and then you'll be free. That's what happened with Ajamila. Sandeep.
Pranam Babaji. So my question is that there is some like karma is things which are prescribed by Vedas. The karma is which are forbidden. So why have this third vision of karma, things which are to be done but are not being done?
Yeah, suppose you have to fast on Ekadasi. So there is an injunction, fast on Ekadasi. So if you don't do it, that is a karma. But it says, don't eat grains on Ekadasi. So then you eat. That is vikarma.
So like this karma can have various reasons in the sense things which are prescribed you are not doing anything at all, and third what we mentioned in the class. So there can be various type of karmas.
Various types of karma.
Akarma.
So I'm saying akarma means not doing what you are supposed to do. So that can be various types. You are supposed to do many things. Supposed to do your japa, then you don't do it. That is a karma. You're supposed to offer food, you don't offer. That is a karma.
So then karma also having reaction in the sense, why would the negative reaction to a karma?
He's not saying negative reaction, he's saying a karma means you are not doing it, so you won't get the result if you don't do it.
But any reaction will come. Like the karma, you will get some bad, like sinful activity, you will get the bad karma.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't do it, you don't get the result. Simple. But if you do something which is forbidden, then you will get the bad result.
So karma doesn't give any bad result, something like that.
Yes.
Explaining a karma and vikarma seems the result of both of them is same. Just like the example you gave for Ekadashi. Suppose one, it is an injunction, you fast on Ekadashi. You do not fast. It comes under the category of akarma.
But then if you eat, that is also coming vikarma. So you are doing both. Suppose you eat grain. So now you are also doing forbidden action.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Both of them, the result is the same. So फिर दोनों की अलग category क्यों बनाई?
Why is it the same? Suppose there is something you do only akarma and you don't do vikarma, then you neither get good result, you don't get bad result. In this particular case, you are doing akarma and you are also doing vikarma, so you are getting the result of vikarma. Karma is not doing anything.
No, in this case, suppose the injunction is fast on Ekadashi and we do not fast. Means we take something which should not be taken on a fast, which means...
That's why I'm saying take some other example where it will not break it. Here there both injunction is there. You fast on Ekadasi and also there is injunction don't eat grains.
Yes.
So you are doing a karma and you are also doing vikarma.
Right.
But
so,
take suppose you are supposed to do charity. Then you don't do charity.
okay.
Then you don't get the result. And there is no vikarma involved there.
Means that that is not binding. In a karma, the injunction is not binding. That if we don't do it, the bad result will be there.
That's exactly what he's saying. That a karma means not doing what you are supposed to do. So there are things. So there is a nitya karma. What is called nitya karma? Nitya karma is that which does not have any result. But you have to do it. So now nitya karma is that if you don't do it, you will get bad result. If you do it, you don't get good result.
Yeah, so nitya karma, the snan and all come under the nitya karma, right?
Yeah.
Snan and keeping your... So, precisely that was my question. So, if we don't do it, we get bad result.
Yeah, if it is part of nitya karma, but it may not be nitya karma. Just like this is Purushottam month.
Yes.
So now it is said that you give charity in Purushottam month. Okay?
Yes.
So if you don't do it, there is no such thing that you are going to get a bad karma for that.
Right.
So there are activities which you do, you get good result. If you don't do, you don't get any result. Simple.
Okay.
There are various types of activities. So there are activities which you are supposed to do because they are nitya karma. You don't get any result by doing them, but you get bad result if you don't do them.
Right. So if we don't do them, then it
Similarly,
will come
there are sakam karma. So if you don't do sakam karma, there is no wrong, nothing wrong.
So Babaji, taking the example of nitya karma, if we do not do our nitya karma, it would come under the category of akarma or vikarma.
Vikarma is when you do something which is forbidden. What is the
Okay.
problem in understanding it? Tell me.
The problem is जब result खराब मिल
अरे
रहा है.
बाबा उसका definition क्यों नहीं समझते यार तुम? Vikarma means to do something which is forbidden.
Okay.
What is the problem with that?
Okay, we have to only see our action, not the result.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I mean, you if you know the definition, but I don't understand what is the difficulty in it. He defined karma is that which is vihit karma, ved vihita acharanam karma. That's what he said. That action which is prescribed in the Veda is karma. To do that, fine. If you don't do that, vihit, anacharanam, not doing what is vihit, that is a karma. He's not talking about the result there. Nisiddha is to do something which is forbidden.
ठीक. Right. Thank you.
Bhavaji, we have a question. Pooja ji asking, Guruji, can we read Vedas ourselves? Also, what all Shastras we can read?
So if you want to read, then reading you can read anything. But if you want to understand, then you have to study from teacher. Now everything is available, you can read. Although to study Vedas you have to undergo Upnayana Sanskara, you have to teacher, then you study from that.
Also from YouTube we have Babaji. Radhe Radhe Babaji, I have observed that even when studying Shastra, my pride increases and not my humility. How to reduce pride and increase humility when studying Shastra?
So what is the pride? If your pride is that you know more than others, I don't know what you mean by pride increases, then go and associate with those people who know more than you. So then your pride will go down. This is your problem.
Another question we have is, if I hear from a genuine guru, try to follow him but never got initiated from him, what is my destination?
Destination means what? You remain wherever you are. What is that you are trying to get? Destination means you are trying to go somewhere. So now if you are not trying to go anywhere, where will you go? When you do something, you do with some intention, right? So now it is up to you, must have some intention. Then the question is that will I attain my intention or not? Where will you go? I don't know. What is your intention? It's not that simply studying from genuine Guru, then you suddenly end up somewhere. It also depends what you want to achieve. Why are you studying? Okay.